Another rip your face off rally ends in major disappointment. What's up, everybody? Welcome aboard to Bubba's Daily Update. And we said this yesterday, after that huge 700-point rally, if they gapped higher on Tuesday, we were sellers because the rip your face off rallies always end in disappointment. So here we are down about 400 and looking pretty ugly. And of course, it's exactly the consistent action we talk about in the top of a market. And of course, we have called the market top since January 29th. And we haven't seen hide nor hair nor to a high yet. But I wonder, why are the pundits always so drooly and excited when the markets are up, and they duck and hide and make excuses when the market's down? All right, you know, this is natural trading. This is what they should be talking about, is what the markets actually do and what the expectations are based on the current pattern. But no, they're giving you an excuse why we should go higher and why we should do this and why we should do that. And at the end of the day, here we are taking it on the short side once again. And of course, we want to be sellers of all rallies right now until proven otherwise. The trend since January 29th is down, and it's been proven to sell rallies. We're going to take the lows out. There is absolutely no question about that. Now, again, will we eventually be higher? Of course. We're going to make new highs again someday, but it's just not today and not this week. And again, this is what you can expect from a market that has a top. Very volatile action with big rallies that look so good, you wonder how come you can't be in them. And of course, they come tumbling down. And that's what you look for. In the meantime, the S&P got clobbered. The NASDAQ really took it in the shorts today. I mean, just a real beat down close to 200 again. And again, this is something that we look at. The Russell got clobbered again. These are signs that there's everything is not so hunky-dory out there. Right? The bonds were up almost a full point. You know, a little bit of fear coming in there. The VIX rallied all the way back from way down to way up. And again, we look at these markets and you just have to understand that that's really what's going on. It looks like oil has finally started to break to the downside. You know, we've been suffering with this oil trade, but yet here we go. They were up, oil was up about 60, 70, 80 cents and then closed down on the day over $1. So we're starting to see a lot of this stuff happen. Gold got clobbered, which made sense, up from the top end of resistance. We talked about that. I wrote about it for Kitco today, that looks like the resistance was going to hold. So again, everything is kind of fitting in right into the patterns in which we talk about on a daily basis here. Grains continue to be in that range, you know, up a little bit, down a little bit, up a little bit. In the meantime, pretty much flat, except wheat and soybeans were down about a nickel today. Corn was flat, but again, they're really all right in buy targets where you'd want to be long. Cattle had a pretty good move today, and not that it was up a lot. In fact, there was a weird print right at the end of the day where they just clobbered them, but they were still slightly up on the day. But to me, that's a more bullish pattern that we're looking for to see them. I don't want to see them go straight up because that just means they're going to go lower again. I don't want a rip your face off rally in the cattle markets. I want a nice steady. I want it to turn to a bull market. So I think that looks really good, and we look to be buyers there. And hogs are starting to look a little bit better as well. So that all looks good. The Bitcoin is still confused, up a little bit today. Been on both sides of the market. But the bottom line is very simple. The tops are in. Okay, and again, it doesn't mean if you're an investor, go liquidate your portfolio. It just means be ready to suffer a little pain. I mean, you should be hedging, and we have a new hedging class starting April 10th. But if you're not hedging, I wouldn't get so worried about it, because as an investor, you let the markets do what they do, knowing that they will go up 8% on average year over year. So that's really what you're banking on, is to get that compounding effect with your portfolio by collecting dividends and letting the markets work their magic. But in the meantime, the markets look really ugly. Okay, this looks really, really bad. You can blame it on the trade wars. You can blame it on anything you want. You can blame it on the stars and the sun and the moon, whatever you want. At the end of the day, the markets are overvalued. This is a bubble. This is another Fed-created bubble that has been oversaturated and built on the cheap money. In the meantime, the dollar had a nice rally today, and of course, that's our key. We're watching. If the dollar breaks to the upside, you better duck, because I think we see dramatic downside movement if the dollar breaks out. That's our black swan event. And, I did some stuff for China today, and they were talking about that. And again, everybody's concerned about the dollar. And just like the bonds broke down, the dollar's going to break to the upside. So be very careful here. We look for tomorrow, if we get a big sell-off into the morning, you'd probably want to be a buyer for a trade. If you rally up, you sell them again. That's really what we're looking at right now. You buy the early dips and you sell the rips. That's really what it looks like. This is Bubba's Daily Update, and I always thank you for coming by. And of course, highschoolinvesting.com if you'd like to help us out. We're in about 420 high schools now. We're trying to get to 40,000. Need a little financial help. I've supported it myself for 7 years, but if you'd like to help out, patreon.com/Bubba Trading. In the meantime, don't forget to catch the Bubba Show every day at 4 to 5 Eastern Time on LibertyTalk.fm. Baseball opening day is coming. I can't wait. In the meantime, let's see what happens tomorrow on Wednesday. This is Bubba's Daily Update for Tuesday. Have a great day, everybody. Thank you so much. We'll see you tomorrow.